There's been a recent extreme development in the Israeli parliamentary system, with Benjamin Netanyahu not being able to secure the necessary amount of seats in order for him to maintain his current position of power. With this being the case, it is necessary for him to work with a centrist neoliberal party in Israel called the Blue and White Party. With this large divide between their economic and diplomatic opinions, it brings the question of what must Benjamin Netanyahu concede in order to form a unity government in Israel. And in my opinion, based on the sources and statistics which I have viewed, it is necessary for him to concede the poor treatment of Palestinians and concede his rightist policy positions. So first, in order for us to properly understand the situation and why he needs to concede those things, let's look at who it is that he's working with and competing against within the nation. In the Israeli parliament, the second largest party is the Blue and White Party, one which takes, as said before, largely centrist and neoliberal stances, meaning things such as economic privatization and the idea of free speech, free press, things of that sort. So with that, they would be largely reluctant, and as we've seen in articles from the BBC which report the party leader of the Blue and White Party being extremely reluctant to even go to the negotiation tables with Benjamin Netanyahu, it shows that they do not want to work with someone who goes against those core values of freedom and independence, which Benjamin Netanyahu is through his treatment of Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, with many of them, according to Human Rights Watch and other such organizations, are not able to even vote in Israeli elections while they are under Israeli occupation, thus going against the entire idea of free speech, free expression, and free press that we hold so dearly in the United States. Along with this, we can see that 1/4 of the 120 seats in Israeli parliament belong to more radical, pro-Palestinian organizations, which would wind up leading to him having more competition which goes against his values in the case that he does not make these concessions. If he does not make these concessions, those 1/4 could easily form a party united simply on their core issue, that being looking for Palestinian liberation and Palestinian freedom. And in the case that they do that, both the Blue and White Party and Netanyahu's own party could very easily be entirely dethroned, completely shifting the scope of Israeli politics, being something that neither party wants. So it is thus necessary that Benjamin Netanyahu concedes his poor treatment of Palestinians in order to work with the Blue and White Party. The second thing that is necessary to consider is the global focus on him. No party is going to want to work with somebody who is under constant scrutiny and constant pressure from the outside world, which is exactly what the Blue and White Party would be doing in the case that they start to work with Benjamin Netanyahu. He has organizations such as Human Rights Watch and liberation movements starting to consistently make comments on his, what they would consider fascistic and apartheid-esque policies, with even some people in the UN, in the United Nations, even of a couple years ago and today, comparing his government to South African apartheid. Now, with that, it is extremely necessary, not only for himself, but for the success of his party as a whole, that, again, he concedes the poor treatment of Palestinians and his tie to the invasion of Palestinian territory. As with the invasion, we've seen an increase in these, what some would consider war crimes. And no party is going to want to vote for that, along with no people are going to want somebody of that caliber running their government. And lastly, we have to look at what would an agreement like this look like. Of course, I said that he does need to concede his poor treatment of Palestinians, but what does that exactly mean? I mean, it's extremely vague. And in that, most likely that would mean giving Palestinians the right to vote. That's something they currently don't have in Israel. And something that goes against a lot of these neoliberal and centrist ideas that are held by the Blue and White Party. They're not going to want to work with him unless he does do that. Similarly, it is necessary for him to look towards a diplomatic resolution, one which not only gives freedom to the Palestinians, but also gives some form of Israeli diplomatic security and economic security in the territories. As one of the biggest issues of the Blue and White Party is that they are looking towards a liberal, capitalist market for all of Israel. And one of their biggest wants is the securing of Palestinian land for the Israeli market. If they do that, it is much easier to do so in a diplomatic manner than in going extremely warmongering and simply attacking the land. So, in conclusion, Benjamin Netanyahu must concede his poor treatment of Palestinians in order to properly secure a unity government in Israel.